I could get pretty for these videos and look good for you people. But for some reason, I just like doing this after work. So I'm unshaven and I'm wearing my pajamas after my evening bath, and that's when I feel like talking about comics. I don't know why. Um, it was a long day, and and I have a short stack of comic this week. Short stack of comics this week. I've only got 4 comics. So I thought I'd talk just for a split second about my intentions with these videos. Uh, so if you enjoy doing anything in this capitalist society, people will tell you you should find a way to make money doing it. If you like to draw, people will tell you you should be a professional artist. If you like to play music or sing, people will tell you to learn how to do it best and make money off it. And maybe you're not interested in making money off it. Maybe you just want it to be a hobby, or maybe you're not actually good enough at it to ever be successful. I mean, I hate to say that, but that's true for some people. Some people love drawing, and they're never going to be, um, a huge successful artist. I mean, plenty of immensely talented artists aren't successful artists. So my point is that you can't. Not everyone can make money doing what they love, and not everyone wants to. You know, I think there's a certain joy in just working 9 to 5 and then going home and doing what you love afterwards. Um, I think that's how some people like to live life, and that's how I kind of prefer to live my life. If I could make my money talking about comics, I probably would, but I don't really necessarily believe that's true. I don't think enough people are ever going to watch these videos for me to make money off them. So that's not my goal. My goal is far more unattainable than that. My actual goal is to make other people money. My goal with talking about comics on the internet is that I want to be a tastemaker. If I could be anything, I mean, if I could, obviously, I'd love to make, just talk and make money. But no, what I want to actually do is talk, and you see these comics and you go buy them, and then they're successful. That's what I want. I want people reading the comics I'm reading, so that I can hear what they have to say about it, and so that they keep making those comics. So, as a little mini uh, musing before I start talking about this week. First up, we got Transformers in the Energon universe. Have I talked about the actual Transformers comic? I don't think I have. I mean, I have. I've said in the past they're introducing these characters slowly, which is very nice for me, who doesn't. I don't have a lot of knowledge of Transformers. The artist and writer for the first 6 issues was Daniel Warren Johnson. Excellent. Now Daniel Warren Johnson is stepping back to just writing, while Jorge Corona takes over as artist. I didn't notice the art had changed at first. Their art styles are very similar, and they're paired well together. The writing's still great. So this is kind of like your darker, edgier Transformers. There's a lot of like murder going on. But this issue 7, was just all Starscream getting the shit beaten out of him. This cover makes it look like he's the winner and he's gonna kick Soundwave's ass. Soundwave beats the tar out of him. So the like, if you're a fan of Transformers, you're probably a fan of seeing Starscream get his shit wrecked. That's kind of a recurring thing in the Transformer universe, and this is some of the best at it. It's just a fun little issue. Like I said, the EU stuff's been good. Not a lot to say this week. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers: The Return #3. Great issue, but it turns out this is only a 4-issue series. I don't know why it's not a 6-issue. 4 seems truncated. Like, it's like the story finally like the story just got cooking, and it's already almost over. Like, the next issue is going to be the finale, I guess. That's a little bit of a bummer, because I like the story. I would have given it a little more room to breathe. It's pretty fast paced. I can't really tell you much about it because it would kind of spoil it, but there is a little mystery set up in the first 2 issues that's already been solved. But yeah, it's I don't know if I've talked about it before. The Return is Amy Jo Johnson, the original Pink Ranger. Her and her husband have written a story that essentially is an alternate. It's its own universe, separate from the normal Power Ranger stuff, where just the original Power Rangers happened, none of the sequel series, and basically at some point in the 90s, the Power Rangers defeated their enemies and retired, and this is you're 30 years later, so it's nostalgic for Mighty Morphin Power Rangers fans. I know people who aren't fans of Mighty Morphin but are fans of the overall franchise are rolling their eyes at that. Like this entire franchise is nostalgic for Mighty Morphin fans. Like if you're a Mystic Force fan, you're fucked. And that is true. This is just doubly so. This is eliminating everything but the Mighty Morphin Rangers. But what I think, even though that is maybe unnecessary, I think what it does offer that the other comics don't offer is a chance to see these characters grown up, and that's kind of interesting. We did get a little bit of that in the 30th anniversary special last year, which was a lot of fun. But this is kind of also doing that, and it's a fun series. I like it. Definitely worth a read. I wish it was a little longer. I wouldn't be shocked because I know Amy Jo's been like really she's been live streaming each issue with David Yost. So I wouldn't be surprised if she ends up writing more comics. So I don't know why this was such a truncated story. I don't know, but it's good. Beneath the Trees Where Nobody Sees. I talked about this in my first video. This one is also ending next issue. So this was the penultimate issue of this one. This one, I think 6 issues was enough. I mean, I would keep reading it, but this is the kind of story that it could become less interesting if it went on too long. So I'm not complaining about this one ending, although it's quite good. It's also better for my bank account if I cut back on how many comics I'm reading. So this one ending will save me some money month to month. But yeah, good issue. It's, I can't spoil anything, but like I said in the previous episode, this is essentially about a serial killer in Animal Crossing or Arthur or any other kind of like seemingly kid-friendly animal universe. But it's very dark and pretty fun. But just to contradict myself, I just said I'm trying to read fewer stories. Of course, I saw something on the stands, on the racks, and decided to grab it and read it. So yeah, Uncanny Valley. This one, as you can sort of tell from the cover, is kind of like Cool World, or it's like this kid finds out he's half cartoon. He has these like cartoon physics will happen to him. Like if he like eats in the comic, he gets in trouble at school because he bites into a pepper and fire shoots out of his ears. So like they think he started a fire. But it was really just this like weird cartoon thing happening to him. And it seems like a Disney style evil villain, evil queen or king is sending minions to try and capture or kill him. But he's allied with some other cartoon characters. They don't all show up in this first issue, but I like that there's kind of a mix of like more old-timey cartoon characters like the Disney characters, and then more modern like He-Man style cartoons. Be interesting to see how that works. The art's very good. Like I said, it's a lot like Cool World, but Cool World could just animate over live action. A comic is all drawn, so it mixes a realistic style for the characters with a cartoony style for the cartoon characters. This first issue is all premise setup. I don't know yet if this is gonna become something I read month to month. I'll give it another issue or two, but as a setup, it's a pretty neat setup. I'm willing to give it another issue to see where it goes. It's a cool premise. And yeah, like I said, short stack this week. That's all I got to say. I have a much bigger stack in my pull box this week, so next week I'll have a few more comics to tell you about. But those are my picks this week. See you all.